Catholic University, Indonesia. These three presenters will be discussing about learning by teaching method. The learning by teaching method has been developed in Turku University of Applied Sciences, and it belongs to the Educational Research, Development and Innovation Methods, or ERDIM family. Overall, all these RD methods are key elements in the innovation pedagogy learning approach. Learning by teaching is an efficient method in many ways. Students from universities acting as trainers or teachers for pupils from lower educational levels, such as vocational school, general upper secondary schools, or comprehensive schools. Students working in trainer teams, 3 to 5 students per team, which aim to plan, organize, and implement all the trainings independently. They plan and prepare contents of the training, all the materials and tasks for pupils. Teachers' role is to guide and give support and feedback for students. In this session 1, presenter from Finland will explain about the method in detail, while Indonesian presenters will share about the one-year implementation pilot results. After all three presenters finish their presentation, there will be a question and answer session at the end. Now, I would like to introduce our first speaker, Ms. Miju Kainanan. Ms. Miju is a lecturer and researcher at Turku University of Applied Sciences. She has specialized in researching and developing learning environments in higher education, and she has developed a barometer to measure students' innovation competences at national and international levels. She has taken part in developing the innovation pedagogy at Turku University of Applied Sciences since 2011. At present, she is conducting her dissertation research on the development of students' innovation competences in higher education. She is also responsible for the coordination and development of Project Hatchery Concept at Turku University of Applied Sciences. Ms. Meju has also written articles and publications on innovation pedagogy. She has also given different presentations and workshops about innovation pedagogy in Europe. Without further ado, may I please call Ms. Meju? You will have 10 minutes of time to give your presentation. The floor is yours.
Thank you. So, hello everyone. My name is Meiju Keinänen and I'm coming from Turku University of Applied Sciences from Finland. So, greetings from snowy and cold Finland at the moment. So, I will shortly describe about the method of learning by teaching, and after my presentation my Indonesian colleagues will tell how they are applying this method in their own universities. So this learning by teaching method is one of our method what we have developed in Turku University of Applied Sciences few years, and we have tested it in many ways. The theoretical background of this method is innovation pedagogy. And this innovation pedagogy is also our pedagogical strategy of our university. Unfortunately, in this presentation, I do not have enough time to present more about our pedagogical strategy, but if you are interested about this kind of learning approaches, please learn more from that our websites. So, like I just tell you that we have tested and implemented this learning by teaching method in several ways. So, we have tested in that way that our more advanced students train peers in our faculty, for example, in math hatchery. We have also tested in that way that our upper grade students coach or mentor lower grade students. For example, they are tutors in our campus, or we are testing this method in our Project Hatchery concept as well. You can also apply this method inside of the course. So students in the same course train each other. It's one example as well. Also, you can utilize this method in different disciplines. For example, our sales students have trained our engineer students about presentation skills or sales competence and so on. And also there are elements of this method when we are our students are acting as experts in different actions like project or research groups. So there are also the elements of learning by teaching methods. Students could train our local company staff or unemployed persons or refugees. And we have also activated our students to be co-trainers in our pedagogical trainings. So all these are good examples how to use this method in practice. The main thing is that students take an active role and they take responsibility about their learning. And also several studies have shown that this kind of learning, you are learning more when you are teaching the subject for someone else. And for this presentation, I chose one of our research and development project, MILLI, where we develop a model for sales, teaching and learning. And this research and development project, we also test and develop this learning by teaching method further. My role in this project is be as a pedagogical expert, and I'm researching how this learning by teaching method works as a pedagogical method. So I have interviews of key players, I have made observation from the trainings and classrooms and gathered feedback from participants. In this MILLI project, how we are applying this method. So our students from universities acting as trainers for pupils from lower educational levels. For example, vocational schools or general upper secondary schools. Students working in trainer teams. There is about 3 to 5 students per team, which aim is to plan, organize and implement all these trainings independently. So they plan and prepare contents of the training, all the materials and tasks for the pupils or participants. And what is very important in this method, teacher's role is only to guide and give support and feedback for students, not teaching or activating in the training sessions. And how we implemented this learning by teaching method in MILLI project, our teams brush up chosen training subjects and gather different kind of information, references and videos about the subject. Then they prepare training lessons, contents, materials, tasks in trainings and homework. And before they start these trainings, teams present their plans to teachers and other teams and edit their plans based on others' feedback. And during these trainings, when students are training pupils, university teacher and other training teams have regular meetings where good practices are shared and problems or challenges situations are discussed and solved together. The assessment in this kind of method, when you are assessing students, is based on self, peer and teacher assessment, as well as feedback from participation of trainings, pupils and teachers. And after the training, students get a certificate of acting as a trainer. So this is the model how we apply learning by teaching method in MILLI project. And like I just said, I have catered a lot of different kind of information and researching this pedagogical method. So we started 2015, and there we have about 100 participants in these training sessions, and last autumn 2016 about 300 pupils participated in these training sessions. So lot of participants patients in these trainings. But what was the key result about this method was that all the key players, rectors, teachers, students, and also the pupils, they were very satisfied this pedagogical method. They see this is the positive. The feedback from these all trainings was very positive. For example, teachers, they got new ideas for own teaching work from this method. They learn also new role as a teacher. And for pupils, they see that these tutor teachers, so university students, the trainers, they are like role models for them. And they said that the atmosphere in the classroom was very positive, open and interactive comparing to the traditional classrooms. And because the training situation, it brings positive variation to the traditional lesson, of course it increased students' motivation. Also students from university, they learned a lot of this way. They learn to plan, organize and implement trainings. They get a great opportunity to apply early theory on the practice. And they really increase self-confidence and take a lot of responsibility in this method. And I just like to say one of comment my students who is third year students from bachelor level. She said that I haven't learned more from this course than other course during my studies. So every key players of these methods are very satisfied for this learning by teaching method. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for Ms. Miyu. Thank you for the wonderful presentation, Ms. Miyu from Turku University of Applied Sciences. It was indeed a very interesting presentation, especially in the part that you mentioned, one person is learning more when he or she teaches others. There are two Indonesian university partners implement this method, and they are Binus University Jakarta and Widya Mandala Catholic University in Surabaya, East Java. To see how they adopt this method in their university, I would like to call our second presenter, and she is Ms. Yanti Martowijoyo. May I firstly introduce Ms. Yanti? She joined Binus University in 2009. She got her PhD degree in accounting from University of Glasgow, Scotland, UK. She has been teaching research methodology, financial accounting, and project hatchery courses in undergraduate program and financial management in postgraduate program. Besides teaching, she also has an interest in research that allows her to present her research papers in prestigious accounting and finance conferences in Asia, Australia, Europe, and New Zealand. Her research interests are capital market-based accounting research in partnership earnings, quality, dividends, and initial public offerings or IPO. And now, may I please call Ms. Yanti Martowijoyo. You will have 10 minutes of time to give your presentation. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Ibu Alin. A very good afternoon from raining and cold Jakarta, and a very good morning for you all in Europe. Mayu, it's a snowy and cold Finland this morning. Thank you for the time that we from Binus University International given the time for sharing what we have done for the INDOPAD project. In particular, in this session is the learning by teaching. I will share the materials for these sessions is the learning by teaching in our university. So my presentations will consist about what is the motivations of us to choose the learning by teaching, as well as how we do it, and then what have been done in this one. Also the evaluations of the applications of the learning by teaching method, as well as the lessons learned. With me also, there are two students, Juandi and Kunal, who actually applied this learning by teachings, and we will learn also and hear from them what is their experience, the advantage, or perhaps also aspects that need to be improved for the next pilot. So we will also apply or pilot this learning by teaching method for this current semester in the even semester. Why learning by teaching? So Dale in 1969 did some research to see how much do learners retain what they learn. And it seems that this very famous, the cone of learning, shows that as long as the students is more active in learning, they will retain their knowledge more. So lecturing, actually, what we usually do when the teachers doing the lectures and the students only listens, then it's actually has a lowest retention rate. And the highest rate would be if the students teach others. Therefore, we choose this learning by teachings in the motivations that our students can retain their knowledge in the highest rate. Of course, this cone of learnings is not without any criticisms. There are many pros and cons of the cone of learnings of the Dale's results of Dale's research. However, most of the discussions show then that what is the most important thing is the student engagement. Jackson 2016 says that the more students engage in their learning period, then the more knowledge will be retained. And the cone of learning by Dale is also actually showing the active and the passive methods of students' engagement in their learning process. How do we do it in Binus University International? Because we would like also to use this project as our research activities in order to increase our quality of learning, then we, in every learning method that we pilot in Binus University, we make some protocol. The protocol for learning by teaching is as follows. The first one, this is the pre-implementations. There is an assessment from the working package 4 for the project. But internally, Binus also have this one. So the step 1 is knowledge gathering and coaching. Step 2 is students in actions. Step 3, result validations, learning validations and process validations, and then will be closed by the post implementations by the assessments. I would like to explain a bit about the step 1, 2, and 3. In the step 1, this is the students has to gather the knowledge outside the classroom. So for example, in Juandi's case, his topic is formulating the research questions, for example. Then when I teach his colleagues in the class about research questions formulations, Juandi and his team was gathering knowledge about how to formulate research questions outside the class. On the other day, then they will see me to present their teaching materials, and then I will coach them. And then after I as a facilitators and the students are happy with our teaching materials, and students in the next week, students will have an actions which is teaching others in the class to the other students in different classes. And then straight away after they finish teaching, we will make some validations. During their teachings, I use assessment rubrics to show how they perform their knowledge. Also learning validations, which is the quiz after that, and the process validations in which we ask each team and each individual in the team to write self-reflection essays. What do they feel they did right? What do they feel, in what aspect they need to improve? And if they are given a chance to do it again, what will they do? So doing these process validations, we would like to know whether this learning method is actually doable and also give the students the better way to learn. And what have been done? In the odd semester, we have been piloting the LBT, Learning by Teaching, in 3 classes and 3 courses in that period, the 1st October to the 11th December. The first class is Research Method in Accounting Finance. It's Juandi's class in semester 5. They did their LBTs in Research Method class in semester 3. So they teach their junior. And the financial accounting one, which is Kunal's applied his LBT and his team. Kunal is a semester 3 student at that time. And then students in financial accounting 1 taught the intro to accounting for non-accounting students also in the semester 3. So they are in the same semester students, but one is accounting students and the other class is the non-accounting students. And the third is the academic English from semester 1, and they went to teach the SMU pupils. So we have quite various arrangements of the LBT during the last semester. And this is an examples or some photos of how they do it. This is the first team to teach the LBT. And if you can see, usually they will mimic us as the lecturer. So they do the teaching, lecturing. Then on the second week, the scene is changed. Now they are more interactive. They do some discussions with the students. And on the third attempt, the other teams did the LBT using different various methods again. They do group discussions, they do games, they do role play. And so it seems that our students are quite innovative and creative also to deliver their materials, because they would like also their friends or their juniors to learn more from their sessions. We also made some evaluations. Our evaluations consist of 2. The first one is how they attain the learning outcomes of the course, and the second one is other benefits that is felt or that is proved by the students' reflection essay. The achievement of the learning outcomes, at the moment, we only have one, which is from one course. research method in accounting finance using the LBT class. Because I was quite privileged on the last semesters, I have two research method classes. The first one, research method in accounting finance, that where a LBT class is applied, and the other one is the control group, which is the research method class without the LBT. And the achievement of learning outcomes, higher grades for the students in research method in accounting and finance, applying LBT class with the average of 74, around 75, while the control group, the research method class without learning by teachings, is only taking that 70. And we already tested it by statistics, and it is significantly different using the parametric and non-parametric tests. So we have the first evidence to support that the students learn more when they do teaching. Other benefits or skill developed during the learning by teaching methods is reflected by students in their essay. They said that they have improved their time management skill, their communication skill, their search skills, because they need to make the teaching materials from multiple sources. So their searching skill also increased, and also increase the confidence level as well as focused learning. Now, lessons learned for piloting again or for applying this method is, we think we need a change of mindsets of the teachers and students. This is this is compulsory and needed. So the mindset that teachers should do the talking is, I think, need to be changed because with the advancement of the technology as well as the environments, that our students actually also have access to other resources rather than their own teachers. Preparation activities are crucial for us. For example, scheduling. If you want to apply, one set of students will do the teaching in other classes, then the schedule should be, from the beginning of the semester, should be arranged. The coaching. Yes, for me it's adding some works, because I need to coach the students who will teach in next week. So I have to set my time for them to coach. And also, I think the evaluation and the assessment tools are important. Asking students to do their reflection essays, for me, is very important, because they then can see for themselves where is their strengths and their weaknesses as well. And for us as the lecturer or the teachers, the rubrics helps a lot for us to assess them fairly. Now, I have, as I said before, I have Juandi and Kunal with me, and they will actually give some testimony of how the LBT has impacted their learnings. Kunal?
Okay, good afternoon from Jakarta. So I was from the research methodology in accounting and finance. I was in a group of 3 with only 2 times training with Miss Yanti, and I feel like what are we going to teach is basically a little bit clueless, because on the first meeting we don't really understand whether should we teach this part or should we include this part or not. That's a little bit confusing. But then as we proceed to the next training, I believe that we get a better understanding, especially of the topic, which is the research question and objective. Also, that we are more engaged, that we able to get more information compared to the class that is taught by Ms. Yanti, because in our class we have criteria for good research question and good research objective, while the our friends in the same class doesn't get that from Ms. Yanti. Also like what I really like from this learning by teaching is that we get to be more active, and that we get the experience of teaching other, and we actually kind of understand how the lecturer feels when they want to deliver what they want to deliver, and like how does it feel when what we expect to be delivered is not delivered. So I think that's the really the really great experience that I get. And maybe some improvements that can be made is that instead of teaching only instead of the students that are only teaching, maybe we can co-teach with the lecturer, so that the students that are being taught can actually understand, can actually get what they deserve to get. For example, like if there are 3 parts, A, B, C, and the LBT students are only explaining A and B, maybe the lecturer can add more to the C part, so that the students who are taught can understand better. Yeah, that's from me.
Next one is Puna.
Hi. Greetings, webinar participants. I'll try to make this as short and concise as possible. So as Ms. Yanti and Juandi has raised previously, LBT enables students to actually, students who are being taught to actually grasp concepts at a much quicker rate. Why do I say this is because perhaps certain students may find it more comfortable to learn with their close friends rather than learning from teachers, because maybe they find it, perhaps they are too shy to to inquire their teachers. Maybe they do not want to, maybe they may find it embarrassing, for example, to ask their teachers. So perhaps they may find it more comfortable to speak to their friends directly and question them. But apart from that, the LBT is also very effective in my opinion, because as Juandi mentioned, it enables the lecturers to actually directly grasp concepts at a much easier rate. Why I say this? Because those conducting the LBT session, they must also realize that since they will be teaching students, so indirectly they are under pressure to make the materials as concise and as simple as possible. And this enables the lecturers to understand the materials easily, because when you have to teach someone else, you'll have to find not only the best method to deliver the materials, but also simplify it and find certain shortcuts which will not only benefit the students, but perhaps could also enhance your own understanding. So we are motivated to just to invent and create new ways to simplify materials, which will facilitate easy understanding for our audience and also enable us to understand more in depth. So perhaps that could explain why the retention levels are at a very satisfying 90%, as presented by Ms. Yanti earlier. But if I may provide feedback on one of the LBT's shortcomings, because everything does have room for improvement, is perhaps, as Juandi mentioned, maybe the moderator could also be present, but I believe they're always present and they also actively participate when those conducting the LBT are committing mistakes or they are straying out of the topics. But at the end of the day, maybe for the audience, they may feel I do not know. This does not really apply to all audience, but they may feel sort of dissatisfied because maybe they feel, why are our friends teaching us? Why isn't it the lecture directly? Because they may go back to those traditional mindset of we are paying university fees, for instance. But I believe this issue could be eliminated if perhaps those conducting the LBT teach this, and maybe the lecturers could rebrief them on the materials taught, the original lectures. So that's it from me, and I'll be giving it back to Ms. Yanti.
Okay, thank you for Juandi and Kunal. So yeah, that is our presentations. One thing that I think I would like to share, especially for our Indonesian colleagues here, it's culture makes a difference. So if you would like to apply the European learning methods or other European methods, then I think you also have to pilot it and make some modifications so we can actually put that into the context of our culture here. Okay, that's from us here in BINUS. Thank you very much for Bu Alin.
Okay, thank you for the nice presentation, Ms. Yanti, for sharing with us the motivation on choosing this method to be applied in your university, the step-by-step in the action of implementation, also proven by several in-class pictures and testimonies by students. It was interesting to see that the method has given better and higher grades for the outcome. And in BINUS University International, the method is, I think, proven that the students learn better by teaching. So, moving on to the last presenter for session 1 is Mr. Antony Wijaya. And Mr. Antony Wijaya is a lecturer at Physics Education Study for Program Widya Mandala Catholic University of Surabaya, Indonesia. He has an interest in researching and developing pedagogical methods and learning media technology in physics education areas. Mr. Antony Wijaya, the floor is yours, and you also have 10 minutes to give your presentation. Please.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Alin. Good afternoon, everybody. Today I will try to share my experience on piloting learning by teaching method in our courses in Widya Mandala. Okay. Okay, wait. Okay. In this piloting learning by teaching method, I supervised by Ms. Mayu and the TWAS team. This piloting is have done in odd semester on 2016 and 2017 academic years. I piloted in only one course in physics education study program, but we have a great experience about it. First of all, when I decided to pilot this method, I think that our student is majoring in physics education, so they will be a teacher. So when I think about a teacher, they need to have a lot of practice for teaching. This is, I think, is the important thing that I decided to piloting this learning by teaching method to our student in physics education study program. For LBT team, I assist by 2 students tutor and 2 documentation team when they have an important role to help me to conduct this learning by teaching method. For the course name is High School Physics Part 4. It's a mandatory course with credits on physics education study program. In the hot semester or on 2016, the student that enroll for this course is from third and fourth year student with total 27 students. It is conducted during August and until December, total 18 weeks, including mid and final tests. There's two part on conducting or piloting this method for first half semester and second half semester. There's similar techniques, similar rules, but there's some development in second half semester. For half semester, the class divided into 8 teams, consists 3 or 4 students each team. And each team got one subchapter as learning material and have to prepare a team teaching in front of the class. When they're planning and prepare for the teaching, they have 2 weeks to prepare the material. There will be tutorial and pre-teaching. I will try to explain later. There was a material review by teacher in the last class meeting. Okay. Sorry, Okay. Next, when the first meeting on the class, I got the initiation phase, and I try to discuss with the students about the learning contract. There will be assessment for them. There will be attendance, tutorial pace. The tutorial pace will be a tutor evaluation assessed by student tutor for each student. There will be a tutorial. The tutorial time according to the student tutors and the students, they can do it in afternoon or night in our laboratory or another place. There will be pre-teaching phase, and there will be the evaluation assessed by teacher and student tutor. Before they perform the team teaching to inform the class, the team needs to perform their teaching in form of me as the teacher and student tutor. Then when we give the evaluation, we give suggestion to improve their teaching before they perform their team teaching in the front of the class. There will be self-evaluation and evaluation, and also will be written test. Still a written test to make sure their comprehension about the material. This is the schedule. They have the first 2 weeks to prepare. So as a teacher, I have a class meeting. I explain about how to make a lesson plan. We have a learning contract, and then the third weeks they start to do their team teaching. There will be in the last meeting there will be a material review by teacher to review all the learning material, and make sure that some difficult material they can do it, some problems, so they're ready to the written test. This is the material. Each team have its student tutor. There will be 8 teams. Okay, and in the tutorial phase, the team will have the tutorial with the student tutors. The place and time adjusted by agreement within the student and the team. There will be rubrics for this phase. Tutor assessment assessed by tutor for each student. pre-teaching phase, I've told you that each team they will perform in front of me as a teacher and the student tutor before they perform the team teaching in front of the class. The place at the time it's just by agreement between teacher, student tutor, and team. There will be rubrics for this space assessed by teacher and tutors. This is how the first half implementation in the class. This is some example I try to show you. This is one team perform their team teaching in front of the class. It's still a traditional teaching. It's still a traditional way to deliver the learner material. So the student activity need improvement, student discussion also need improvement. So there will be some development in the second half of the piloting for this LPT method. Yeah, the team is still using traditional teaching, need more student discussion and activities. There will be a rubric for this space assessed by teacher and other students. Other students assess the performing how the team perform in front of class. So other students have great role to give a mark to other students how they perform in front of class. Okay. I had a student interview during the midterm test. I asked them about how they think about implementing the LPT method. There will be some good feedback from them. Also, there's a negative one, but from this feedback, we can do some development for the second half implementation. Yeah, there's some isn't that it's pre-teaching, so sometimes they can seriously in the class, so they forget the learning material easily. This group tell me about how they need longer time to plan their teaching, so it's challenging for them, but maybe it's a good point to development the second half implementation. This team tell me about they had a great time to practice to teach, so they will be a teacher. They can have opportunity to practice their teaching. We know that as a teacher, we get field training, but in Widya Mandala only in a semester. So I think it's not enough. Still, it's not enough. But in this chance to implementing this method, I hope they can make they can have a practice to teach. It's a good point that they must understand. They should understand their learning material before they perform in front of class. But at the pre-teaching, when they perform in front of teacher and the student tutors, there will be quality control of the learning material. So we suggest there will be improvement of the teaching before they perform in front of the class. This team tell me about the various of teaching method. All of the team in the first half implementation, they can use the traditional way, the old one. So there will be development for second half implementation in this part, in this teaching methodology. Okay, next. I think it's enough. There will be a self and fellow assessment. The self-assessment is they assess themselves, and the fellow assessment they assess their friends in a group, in each group. So how they feel in self-assessment.
Pak Anthony, I'm sorry, you have 2 more minutes for your presentation.
Okay, thank you. There is a student score in the first half semester. Is highest score 80, around 80. Lowest score is still at 57. First score 67. Okay, this the important one. There will be some development in the second half semester that I put the text. Yeah, each student should implement innovative learning method, and the team have more time to prepare. There were 3 weeks. There was no material review by the teacher, so they should seriously the class. They should pay attention to their other friends' presentation. And the last one is class meeting held in macro teaching class, and it allowed the application of no teacher. So I, as a teacher, will be not in the class. The macro teaching class has a control room. I will be in control room to see the class, to the condition of the class, and to see the performance of each team. Okay, this is my macro teaching class. Okay, there will be some change in the assessment for the weight of each assessment. Okay, yeah, this one is so each team have different learning innovative learning method. Direct instruction, small discussion group, guided inquiry, discovery learning, jigsaw learning method, STAT, student team achievement division, think, pair, share, and number head together. Okay, maybe I go to the conclusion. Okay, LBT method can enhance for me. LBT method can enhance the student participation and more active activities in the course. The implementation of its stage in the LBT method requires the student activities in planning, preparing for lesson plans, conducting tutorials, and taking important roles in teaching. Teaching experience of the student of the physics study program also improved through the implementation of each stage in the LBT method. As seen as the self-assessment, there is improvement with respect to the student's soft skills such as interactivity, teamwork, and presentation skill. However, the student's ability in mastering the learning material does not improve significantly. This is a challenge for me, for us to how to develop the system so that this problem is solved or make it better. For me, my skill in the course management improve. The use of rubrics in each assessment and stage in the implementation of LBT contributes highly to the improvement of teaching management. Piloting LBT method in other course is recommended by still accommodating the characteristics of the courses and students. Okay, I think It's all of my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for Mr. Anthony for sharing with us. It was indeed very interesting, and hopefully it will also inspire to all participants of this webinar. Yeah. You have explained your implementation in details, in detailed schedule since preparation stage until the first and second phase of implementation. Also, how you assess students for different phases and activities. And you also have shown a video of how your class being conducted. Yeah. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the question and answer session. We only have around 15 minutes left, yeah, for a question and answer session. There are actually many questions already raised in the chat box now, but unfortunately we cannot accommodate all questions to be discussed here. So allow me to pick some interesting questions to be answered by the presenters. For the first question, I can read from the chat box from Mr. Osepianto. Mr. Osepianto asked to Ms. Meju, how about the vocational school students? Could they be a teacher for students that are younger than them, for example, their junior class? If I can maybe elaborate, maybe it is possible to implement this method in vocational school, not in higher education. To Ms. Miyu, can you please answer the question?
Yes, thank you for the questions. Yes, definitely. You can apply this method in different educational level. I think that the most important thing when you think where you are going to apply it, think about what is the content or what is the course, how you are using that. That it is not too advanced for the students. But yes, definitely you can apply in the different educational level. For example, in Milli project, we also tested this method inside a vocational school students.
Okay, thank you very much to Ms. Mayu. Hopefully, Mr. Osepianto, Ms. Mayu already answered your question. For the second question from Ms. Umi Tiralestari from SMK Ranti Mula Bogor. The question is for Ms. Yanti from BINUS. I think perhaps Ms. Yanti already answered in the chat box, but maybe you can also give the explanation to other participants. The question to Ms. Yanti is, what are the advantage and the barrier in adopting this learning by teaching method? Please, Ibu Yanti.
Yeah, thank you for the questions. The advantage of the learning by teaching, I think I already described that. That we piloted the LBT, the retention of the knowledge is better in terms of the grades of the students, the final grades of the students. The barriers, I think the most barrier is the mindset of the students as well as the teachers. The mindset of the teachers usually it's more students and teachers more on the culture side. In Indonesia, we tend to be a center in the class. The teacher tend to be the center of the class. And the students also respect it in that way as well. So when the students become the teachers for other students, then many will questions that way. But we believe that what we want, our motivation is to increase our students' retention rate. The learning method, how they achieve their learning outcomes is greater. Therefore, we need to also to make conditions within our institutions that could accept that students could also teach the other. But as my students also already suggested that although the students become the teachers for other students, that it is still important that the teachers will actually be there for all students, at least to confirm what the the student teachers has taught the students. So the teachers here holds a crucial role as well, but not as the center of the class, but as the facilitators for the student teachers and the students. I think that would be my answer.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much, Ibu Yanti, for your answer. Hopefully, it also has given the answer for Ibu Umi. And the next one is from Mr. Muhammad Lutfi Helmi. He asked to Mr. Anthony on how to apply this method in senior high school, especially in physics subject. Can you please provide the answer for Mr. Muhammad Lutfi Helmi? Pak Anthony, please.
Okay, I try to answer the question from Mr. Muhammad Lutfi Helmi. For my perspective for high school students, try to apply this LBT method in not quite difficult learning material in physics. I think this method needs to prepare a lot. The team or the students need to read a lot of source. But when the teacher can make the learning material short, I think it's still probably it still can do the LBT method for high school student in physics subject. I think that's my answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Pak Anthony. I think we still have around 7 minutes left for the question and answer session. If it is possible, I would like to invite Miss Krishna, a teacher from SMP 1 Ponorogo. For our European colleagues, SMP is a junior high school. To raise your question live, would it be possible for Ibu Krishna to use your audio to raise your questions?
Yes.
Okay, Ibu Krishna?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes. Yeah, okay. You can ask your question to the presenter. Which presenter you want, please?
Mrs. May Kainanen. Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me, maybe I'm not fluent in English, but I'll try to ask in English. I'm so interested about presentation from Miss May Kainanen. There is innovation education. There are higher student will be mentoring the lower student, and it is same like our doing in digital training in Siamolek. But the center point is the students, the higher student actually, they plan, organize, and then prepare contents of the training by themselves. So what is the teacher do, or what is the teacher did in here? The second question is, maybe Miss Meiju Kainanen can give us about assignment rubric or anything else to description about the student result. Okay, thank you, Miss Alin.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibu Krishna. Miss Mayu, can you please provide the answer for her, please?
Yes, thank you for the questions. First question concerned about teacher's role. So in our case, teacher's role is to just guide and support students when they are planning and organizing these trainings. It's like how to say, being in the outside, in the background of the classrooms and giving support and feedback. And I'm sorry, but I didn't understood the second question. What some kind of assessment rubric, or what was the? Can you repeat the second question?
Okay. When the teacher is in the classroom, we give some quiz or anything else to the student to get the score for the student. The score will be will be score in description or score in mark. So how you give score for your student?
Score. Okay, yes. So it depends on the course. So for example, this Milli project, it was just an example. So in their the mark, they get the score or the grade of the course came from the feedback. There were different kind of assessment rubrics and also other assessment rubrics. So it depends on the course what you are using this method. For example, Mr. Antoni and Miss Yanti, they also presented their assessment rubric. So it depends on what is the course. But the main thing is that you need to use several different assessment rubrics comparing to the traditional lecturing. Did I answer right in your question?
Okay, thank you so much for your answer, and it's very clear for me. Thank you, Miss. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much to Miss Krishna and Miss Mayu. I think that was already ended the question and answer for this session 1. Thank you very much for our 3 presenters, and also to all participants who are very active in asking questions. I'm sorry that not all questions raised can be answered by all presenters. And now, as we are moving on to the second session, ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the session 2 of the first Indoped webinar. Yeah, it is good that we can move from session to session right on time. So in the session 2, we also have 3 presenters as well, and they are, the first one is still our lovely Miss Mayu Kainanen from Turku University of Applied Sciences, Finland. And the second presenter will be Mr. Agus Arif Munawar from Universitas Syah Kuala, Indonesia. And the third one is Mr. Hendrik Kongdro from Binus University International, Indonesia. These 3 presenters will be discussing about a project named Project